Oh. Welcome to the Billionaire Belief Show. This is your host, Dhane Diesil. I want to thank you for tuning in as usual. Before we get started and hop into our topic, as usual, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Instagram at BBWCN, as well as on Twitter. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com. But most importantly, hit the link in the description. Learn more about Billionaire Belief and become an insider, so you can always get those exclusive pieces of content that we will be dropping to your inbox, to an inbox near you. But today's show, I wanted to talk about some music marketing case studies with an artist that, I work with in regards to, assisting in regards to like digital marketing and just overall strategic marketing and whatnot. So without further ado, I'll bring him on real quick. The one and only Kushy Carlito. What's up, bro?
West side. It's your boy Kushy C. What's good?
So as you see, Kushy Carlito right here. This is a project that was dropped for maybe a couple years ago now that we did. But once again, like you said, already know I'm into marketing and everything, as well as digital marketing. And from time to time, what I'm saying, I work with the bro to, help him with some of his campaigns. And, we've been doing this for years. Like I said, this is one of the latest project. This was the first one right here. This was the introduction to the game right here. But from here, to where we are now, we've definitely tried a lot of things, a lot of strategies, a lot of techniques in regards to the marketing. And most of them didn't move the needle, but something we've attempted as of late. Well, two specific techniques and strategies as of late that have definitely produced some positive results for us. And so that's what we're gonna kind of talk about today. Because if you're viewing and you're in the music business or trying to achieve any form of success, marketing is going to be a very important component of that. Promoting your information and making sure that your content is where the attention is. And we all know the attention is on smartphones. So that's why it's very important that you have to understand not only, the importance of digital marketing, but how to structure your campaigns properly, as well as when it comes to like planning and knowing how you want to execute. And then you'll be able to produce a more consistent result for yourself today. So right now, we're going to actually talk about a specific campaign that we've tried recently that we just ended, but definitely produced some real good positive results for us. And so with that being said, let's take a look at it real quick. So Mr. Kushy Carlito.
Yes, sir.
Let's just talk about the Nasty Challenge and how we kind of got here before we actually get into like the meat and potatoes of the actual strategy, what we actually did.
Okay, so how we got here. So we were basically in the basic recording, we was working on the next project, in and out the studio, just laying down tracks. And we came across the Nasty record. So I laid the record, and just from hearing the record, we was just like, we got to get this in the hands of the strippers. Like this one will definitely get the girls doing their thing. Boom. So from there, it was like, okay, we got a way to move it on the streets, but how we gonna market it online? That idea came to twerk contest, and the Nasty Challenge was born.
Mm-hmm. Now, I forgot to mention something. Being in the entertainment industry, or no matter what you're selling in regards to your product, at the end of the day, you're gonna need somebody to buy into you, and so overall, no matter what you're selling, your marketing objective ultimately is to build an audience. Now, by audience, obviously we mean, a bunch of people who are tuning in to whatever it is you got to say, whatever your message is. No different than it's kind of like, ABC, for example, like they have an audience, a specific type of individual who watches their channel. So that's why they strategically put certain content at certain times of the day. So with the music artist, like that same model can apply as well as any other business. You know what I'm saying? Like that model can still apply. But right now we're talking about music marketing. So for him, the ultimate goal has been, as of recently, is just to build an audience. To build a a list, a contact list of people interested in his music and what he has to say, what he has to offer, and having control of that list, because that's the most important part. You know, you got to have control of your traffic, because albeit, you know, using platforms like social media platforms like Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, those are good springboards to get people back to whatever it is you're really having to offer. So with that being said, now let's get into a little bit of the meat and potatoes. So obviously the big goal being to, you know, obviously drum up some attention so we can get people coming to the profile to see who this guy is. Let's just kind of talk about what the execution was like for this campaign. So take us back to, you know, day one, you know, after you decided to post this flyer.
So the strategy of executing the contest, you know what I mean, we kind of went back and forth with different ideas. You know what I mean? We thought of first, could we bring another brand into the fold, maybe make the prize some of their content or whatever they had going on. We tried a photographer, we tried clothing brands and whatnot, just something, whatever the females was liking. Reached out to them, you know what I mean, people who have followings, you know what I mean, just to be able to get the word of the contest out better. Because of course I don't have the following, so that was kind of key. Like, you know what I mean, I didn't want to just post a flyer myself and rely on hashtags to get the word out. So I was trying to get somebody, some kind of influencer to come into the fold, but they didn't. We couldn't make that happen. So all else fails, you know what I mean. You do it yourself. Day one, we posted a flyer. From there, man, I was just on the Instagram streets, man, working them like a slave, man. I'm looking for twerk pages. I'm looking for females that twerk, and I'm just hitting the DMs and I'm spreading the word. You know what I mean? Really putting in the work.
Now, when you say putting in the work, can you elaborate on that a little bit more? Because I don't think a lot of people understand the actual time, energy, and effort that goes into, you know, a direct approach, a more organic approach to getting the word out.
I mean, you're looking at 4 to 8 hours a day of just on Instagram. And I mean, using every tool possible to find these girls. You're using hashtags, you following some to see their followers. Like you said, you DMing them and you hoping for them to reply back. And then once they do reply back, you know, you got to have these week-long conversations with them just to convince them to participate. I think that was the most, just really having conversations with a lot of them, because probably all of them that did participate, we had like multiple conversations before they would, you know what I mean? And a lot of them just was, you know, I don't think I could win, or my butt ain't that big, or just, you know what I mean? Just so much stuff, man, you know what I mean? But yeah, like I say, the campaign ran for 3 to 4 weeks. And I mean, I was hitting people up daily, 4 to 8 hours a day. Unlike just like another full-time job down there. You know what I mean? Around the clock. And just whenever I had some spare time, that's just what I was doing. And once I started getting traction, it motivated me to do it more and go harder and just, you know what I mean, keep going. So it's like literally it just became kind of like addictive in a way. It was just like, how many can I get? You know what I mean? I set a 15 to 20 goal and we ended up getting close to 30. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a success.
Now, after you put in all this energy, this time, this effort, you know, you go, let me log in real quick. You go and produce some results, obviously. And you got some activity popping off. So talk about just the actual tangibles in regards to the results that you was able to get in regards to activity.
Well, I would say on the usual, a video might get maybe 100 views, 20 likes. I mean, a regular picture, maybe 20 likes. I mean, a good picture, maybe 35. You know what I mean? I would say weekly visits to my account might have been anywhere from 20 to 70, just fluctuating somewhere on that. And that's just with just, you know what I mean, regular attempts that we was doing. And the last 2 weeks of the challenge, it was just the numbers were monstrous. Like monstrous, like, you know what I mean? Well, just to me, I mean, probably compared to somebody else, it's not, but from going what I went to what I am now is just crazy. Like my followers doubled. You know what I mean? I had about 11,000 profile visits like in 7 days. Like, you know what I mean? Like my page was just booming. DMs, comments, likes, views. Like I finally got to experience what Instagram really is about. You know what I mean? I'm talking about people worldwide. You know what I mean? Dudes, females, just song is dope, videos is dope. Just it was just love, bro. It was crazy.
You said something pretty interesting. You had traffic, like you said on the screen, over 11,000 actions taken between roughly. I mean, this is like this is represents mostly like the last week, but just you can just see off the numbers right here, the graphs. Like you definitely, like you said, it was booming for you, of course. But I think an important word here is actions taken. Now, this doesn't mean people that just saw the picture on the Explore page and just kept scrolling. Actions taken means that these people maybe just saw the picture on an Explore page or through a hashtag, and then from there they actually clicked on your link to actually look at your full profile page, and then they, some of them clicked on like it says the link in your profile, and like I said, other people probably looked at your stuff, but that was basically the same thing as if I would say, somebody just seeing the page and picking in, just like clicking it, loving it, for example. That would be the equivalent on the street of just somebody like driving by the store or walking by the store, just kind of like looking in and seeing what you got to offer, and like, oh yeah, that's cool. But to actually go and visit the website, I mean the profile list, that's kind of like them walking by the store and then actually going inside the store.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like that was another big part of the contest is it was you actually seeing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this was like 11,000 people walking into your store for the first time
compared to the previous 70.
Right? And so, I mean, you've seen your insights up until before this challenge. So have they ever?
Nowhere near. And like I said, we've literally been, you know what I mean, trying to educate ourselves on the game, and we've been trying every avenue, you know what I mean, every piece of advice we've received. We went the blog route, you know what I mean, sending thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of emails. Right. Searching to find them. You know what I mean? Googling blogs, trying to hit up industry people to get their blog list. So that was a strategy at first. You know what I mean? And we've received plenty of placements, but still no momentum.
Yeah, nothing really was moving the needle.
No momentum. You know what I mean? We tried showcases. You know what I mean? Pay to play. You know what I mean? Try winning those. You know what I mean? That was good for practice, of course, but still no action, no momentum. What else did we try?
So we've tried the blogs, showcases. Obviously, we've been out pounding pavement, telling people about it. We've passed out cards. We've kind of taken indirect approaches of trying to sell merch. We've done radio interviews. We've done radio interviews. We've
done freestyle. The
Gangsta Gospels, right? Weekly freestyle videos. We've indirectly produced a whole online radio show for 2 years just to get the name out there so people can come back. You know what I'm saying? But nothing really moved the needle in regards to Kushy Carlito, the store, in a sense. People actually coming to the store and checking it out until we started this nasty challenge.
Sure.
So it's kind of like the most, I would say, not necessarily a lesson learned for me, but a real important point proven was sex
Sex
sells.
sells. That was my next point. Like
Sex sells.
Sells.
So can you like talk about that and kind of like, being, a man in your station in regards to an artist, but also to, what I'm saying, the father, and kind of like how you talking about before, feeling maybe a little kind of way about, producing this type of song. Cause I remember you said something like that before, like, you wasn't even thinking like that. But like I said, just kind of talk about that.
I mean, it's like I don't make a certain kind of music. Like, you feel me? I might like certain kind of beats, but I mean, I go with whatever comes out when I hear the beat. I mean, you might catch me in the studio singing one day or like whatever. So I heard the beat and that's just what came out. Like, you know what I mean? And the finished product, when I heard it, when I let other people hear it, when the engineer heard it, it was just like, you know what I mean? You got to get this in the strip club. You got to get this to the females. Like this, they going to get loose to this one. Like, boom. So that's just what it was. But at the end of the day, it's like just if you listen to some of my old music or stuff, that's just not really what I was on. So, you know what I mean? I had to think twice about it at first. Like, do I want to step into that lane? Do I want to be known for that? You know what I mean? Woo, woo. But I had to just realize it's all part of playing the game. You know what I mean? It's plenty of people's they single might be one way, but you go listen to their album, you know what I mean? It's just a whole different vibe. So you gotta reel the people in some kind of way. You know what I mean? On Instagram, what's popping on Instagram? Everybody want to see the females. You know what I mean? Everybody want to see what the females is doing. They want to see some booty popping. They want to see them twerking to the newest song. You know what I mean? It's females making a living off dancing to people's songs and getting paid for it, just making Instagram videos. So we figured out how could we maximize our investment the biggest way. You know what I mean? We didn't want to pay 30 girls individually to make videos. So we came up with the contest idea and it'll give them all a chance to do it. We got the videos. They got the chance to win the money. It was a win-win situation. And the results that it produced were great. So I'm glad I did decide to move forward with it. But it was a little apprehension at first.
Mm-hmm. Because like you said, a lot of people kind of look at this as a taboo in a sense.
Yeah, some of my old followers was tripping. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I gotta unfollow you till this is over, or you know what I mean? This is just too much. I'm getting in trouble at work, opening up my timeline. You know what I mean? It was a lot of that too, but you feel me? It was like y'all been following me. You know what I mean? Damn near 1,000 people. Y'all been following me for years, and y'all don't like a picture. You know what I mean? So I'm not really trying to hear what you got to say.
Now, I also want to talk about kind of taking a trip back in the past and just kind of really focusing in and really helping you understand that we've put effort in a sense to try to utilize other platforms, kind of like third parties in a sense, so that we can get our content out there and in front of some audience people, so that they can obviously get exposed to it, become aware of it, with ultimately the goal of them taking an action of coming back to our store, whether it was the IG profile, the YouTube page, the website, and then later on down the line, once we put in a lead generation funnel, we start pushing traffic there. But all in all, what I'm saying, it wasn't until we start putting direct, we start contacting people directly,
Right.
as opposed to trying to like contact these gatekeepers in a sense.
Right.
And trying to ask them if they can promote our stuff, and hoping that some of them, because usually, like I said, we hit up thousands, literally you can hit up thousands, hundreds of thousands, and maybe you get one email or two email responses back. But of course everybody says you can pay for it, but even paying for placements, like you said,
don't do it,
because it's like, yeah, you got it out there, but
don't do it.
But your goal isn't necessarily, the goal isn't to be on a blog. As an artist, you're still an entrepreneur, and you want to be able to control, control your customers in a sense. So, in by control, I mean having a direct way of contacting them without having to rely on a third party. So yeah, people like right now. So now you've doubled your followers on Instagram. But if you wanted to get in touch with them 1,500 people, could you?
Yes, sir.
I'm talking about like directly. If we wanted to send all them 1,500 people something directly for whatever reason, like
Yes.
could we do that? But
Yes.
are all 1,500 gonna see it?
No.
That's what I'm talking about. So if we wanted to get something to somebody directly,
I mean, we could send them a DM.
that is true. But DM is like like an email, right? So that's basically what I'm getting at. So what
that lead is important.
Part of why we did this as well, and why we do this is because once again we have to drive traffic back to a landing page so that we can capture their email address, their first name and email address. Because once again, the ultimate goal is to build an audience and be in control of that audience, so that we can have direct access to our customer. We can send them direct messages and control that conversation and control that relationship. Because if for whatever reason, at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they make a change in their policies to where, we can't DM them no more, or we can't even see, who's following us, and we just see a number. You feel me? Then it's just like, well, you have no direct access to your customer. So, albeit, social media platforms are a good tool to get in front of these people, you still have to, be entrepreneurial and understand that you still have to control the relationship. And the more you rely on your follower count and like counts, you're not really winning for the long term. I'll say that. And like you said, the likes and stuff, that's good because that lets you know, what people is paying attention to. So you can then understand what kind of content you probably should be putting up. But all in all, you know what I'm saying? It's good to be direct. You feel me? We learned that. We learned that sex sells. Anything else we learned?
Yeah, that's about it, man. Sex sells, bro. That's the biggest point I took away from it. Like looking at the followers and looking at who was coming, it was just like, yeah, it works. You know what I mean? The females like it. They all want to be nasty. And the dudes like it. They all want to see some nasty shit. So, you know what I mean? It just works both ways. And I mean, we all know it. It's an old cliche. Sex sells. Like, you know what I mean? But it really sells.
And accepting that, it's nothing to do, has nothing to do with your personal convictions and morality or values, because that's just once again part of the game. We didn't make that up. You know what I'm saying? We didn't make this rule, or we didn't say that that's what people was interested in, but for whatever reason, people was interested in sex. I mean, Pornhub is one of the biggest sites, the fastest growing and one of the most biggest sites in the world of all time, for a reason. Obviously, people want to see that kind of content. So, like you said, when it comes to you being, marketing and getting attention so that you can obviously get people coming back to your store in a sense so they can join your mailing list. That's the traffic, what I'm saying? So everybody wants to talk about how do I generate traffic. We learned that we can do a challenge. So now we just know that that's just one little tool we can add to our back belt moving down the line. But we also do other things. We'll get into that a little bit at another show. But for today, I said the nasty challenge, it was a success. Wouldn't you agree?
Ultimate success.
Ultimate success. So
trying to figure out what the next one.
Right. But ultimate success. So like I said, we hope that you can hopefully got some inspiration and understanding of it is. But like I said, if you need some help with this stuff, we got you. We can coach you through the process for a fee, of course. But we'll definitely help you out. Because like you said, there's certain things that have to be done a certain way. It ain't just, kind of like willy-nilly in it, in a sense. You really got to kind of sit down, plan some things out, get a real clear understanding of what your messaging is, what your artwork's going to be, like how to contact them. There's a certain way you got to do stuff so that you can still be in compliance with these platforms and not have them flagging and stuff or blocking you for posting your content.
Facts.
Now,
no nudity, no pornography, like cover up the coochies, cover up the nipples. You know what I mean? Because it will get flagged and thrown down, and it will hurt your feelings.
Right. So there's definitely a certain way. And like I said, we can help you with that. We can help you, steepen your learning curve, make it easier for you to make it do what it do. So,
One more thing before we get out of here. Don't look at the page, see the production, see the results, and think that you can just make a flyer, put it up, and you're going to get the same results. It is not an easy process. When I say 4 to 8 hours a day, I really mean that. And I mean, your eyes start hurting from looking at the screen so long. You feel me? It's so repetitive. You know what I mean? We had to use multiple Instagram accounts because after you send a certain amount of DMs to people you don't follow, Instagram block you. So it's a very stressful process. So if you're not really willing to put in the work, like don't waste your time because you're gonna post a follower. I mean, you're gonna post a flyer and not get no videos and be embarrassed. You feel me? So I don't give a fuck how much you offering, bro. Like you got to get it out there. You know what I mean? So, and especially if you don't have a following, it's not gonna be just posted. Like, you know what I mean? So, take work, man. But like you said, if you ain't trying to put no work in, you shouldn't be doing this shit regardless in that aspect. So, yeah, that.
and like you said, before we leave, real quick, I do want to piggyback on something you just said. Just talk about the importance of, like you said, you being an artist specifically in music and operating a register, and just how important it was for you to do that. So now you really understand what it really does take to get the word out. Because once again, like you said, you've done plenty of stuff before. We've done plenty of other stuff before, but I would say this was the first time, outside of email marketing, when we were doing paid ads, where we was really able to get some real traction, have real people see our stuff and take action and come back and participate.
Like you said, we've done a lot ourselves before, but this is the first time that something has been so successful that we've done ourselves. But I would say the importance is like, you know what I mean, you need to know what it takes. So even when you do get to the level where you are able to pay somebody to be in these positions, you will know if they really doing their job or not. You know what I mean? Because you know how much you didn't put into it, and you know how much they should be doing more if they get paid to do it. So I would say that's the best thing. It's like, you know what I mean, you want to pawn stuff off on other people. You want to get a team, and a team is good to have, but you know what I mean, they're not gonna have that same enthusiasm and energy as you until shit get popping, honestly, unless you paying them. You feel me? So like it ain't gonna just be off the rip. So do it yourself, man. Get your feet dirty, you know what I mean, and see what it really take. You know what I mean? If you really want it, you're gonna do that anyway. But you know what I mean, it's just a lot of stuff that you think. Like, I mean, even down to making flyers, making graphics, making album covers. Like I didn't did it all. You know what I mean? And just hit up people, didn't like they work. Hit up somebody else, didn't like how they did it, and just did it myself. You feel me? And it came out way better. And even with the Nasty Challenge, like I said, I reached out to one of the top photographers who you know what I mean shoots all the strippers and every bad female Instagram follow him. You know what I mean? And him not fucking with me was a blessing in disguise because you know what I mean I got to do it myself and it makes me and now getting the results that I got, I feel better about it. You know what I mean? Because I know I did it. You know what I mean? So like you said, man, own your own register, work your own register, you feel me? Just so you know what's going on and you know what it takes. So when you do elevate to where you don't have the time to run your own register, you still know what's supposed to be going on at your register, you feel me? Yeah.
Right. You got to know what's happening on your block. That's one of the things I noticed. A lot of people are so quick to try to, give they block, give they register to somebody else that they don't even know themselves really.
Yeah. I mean, that was me when I first started. Like, I was just fiending for, I need somebody to be my manager. They have nothing to manage, but I need somebody to be my manager. I need a producer. I mean, I need somebody to help me write these songs. I need somebody to tell me how many times I should double it or not, to change your hook or say this way. You know what I mean? But like you said, YouTube you is real. You know what I mean? You can learn anything you want to learn yourself. Like YouTube.com is real. Anything you could think of is on there, and they would teach you how to do any. I mean, I didn't fix my car from YouTube. Like, you know what I mean? Like real shit that I would have went and paid $300, $400, $500, $600 for. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can apply that shit to just life, period. Not even just music and marketing. Like, do shit yourself. Like, really exhaust the option of doing it yourself before you call up anybody else, bro. Like, because people be out here jacking you. You know what I mean? People will use you, bro. A nigga hit me and told me he was gonna charge me $400 to make a what was it, a DJ pack or whatever it is you get to the DJs, which is fucking 4 links, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He was gonna charge me $400, bro, just to make a link. But me being uneducated, if I would have just took him for off his clout and who he was and just paid the fee, you feel me? I would have been looking stupid, you know what I mean, in hindsight. But I said, okay, boom. I educated myself. I found out what it was he was actually talking about. I understood the importance of it, but I knew that it wasn't worth $400. You feel me? So that's what it is, man. Get out here and do your own shit, man. Stop being lazy. You know what I mean? Billionaire belief. You gotta have a belief, bro. If you ain't got the belief, you're gonna be stuck in the cycle. You feel me?
There it is from the horse's mouth. So in closing, make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you go check out this man's music, you know, live and direct. You know, you can find him at KushyCarlito.com. You know, the Roach Raps, FEB Volume 3 were the last 2 projects. You stream those on, you know, all the platforms. But, you know, follow him on Instagram, you know, at Kushy Carlito. That's where you're at right now. You can go check out the results of the Nasty Challenge yourself. But like I said, if you need help, you know, reach out, you know, use the comment section below or shoot us an email, billionairebelief@gmail.com. Like I said,
we will get your contest popping for a fee.
Log on to Instagram, BBWCN, same as Twitter, Facebook.com/billionairebelief. Like I said, Dhane Diesil out. Peace.